Morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, October 31st. Happy Halloween. And today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVDY, MSTY, and AMZY. But first, most of you know, unless you're living under a rock, I guess, Super Microcomputer had some bad news yesterday, right? Bad news. Someone's messing around with the books or something. Their auditor quit, they resigned, they don't agree with their financials, and it's not good right now. So if you look here, obviously it kind of dropped like almost 30% yesterday, which is massive. I mean, that's a big hit. Obviously, YieldMax just launched SMCY, and yeah, not a really good time to launch it. They did have a nice distribution, which may have attracted some investors, which is unfortunate because now the underlying is, taking a dive due to some, mismanagement of the company. So this is like kind of a reminder to, all the investors out there. YieldMax covered call ETFs, remember, they trade options on one individual underlying stock. So, whether you buy Super Microcomputer individually or whether you buy SMCY, that's part of the risk of buying an individual stock. If someone does something stupid, then you could get burnt along, in the road, by investing in that individual stock. Obviously, YieldMax has extra risk because they're just doing options on it and they're capped on the upside. But man, oh man, if this is not like a wake-up call to that, right? To say, okay, this is why people invest in the index, or this is why people invest in YieldMax, right? Because YieldMax investors didn't necessarily feel, yesterday as much as SMCY investors felt. So just something to think about. If you're going to invest in an individual covered call ETF, make sure you love the underlying and you believe in the underlying. And people may still believe in Super Microcomputer, right? They may be fine when all's said and done. And rightfully so. I have a feeling they'll come back from this. I don't know how long. That's the question, right? I just see comments all over. They may be delisted. You see that scares everyone, right? You hear the word delisted, everyone's running away selling. But anyway, I just figured I'd mention that to you guys because it was kind of a wake-up call to me too. Because as you know, I've been talking about SMCY. I'm like, I want to buy it, but I haven't looked into SMCI, and I haven't bought it. And I thank God, because I mean, wow, that's crazy. All right, so Coinbase had earnings last night. And they did miss. Looks like they reported 28 cents per share and missed the analyst estimates of 45 cents. So they're probably going to be red today. What else? It had 1.21 billion in quarterly revenue, which they missed on that, it looks like, because they were supposed to be at 1.26 billion. So. And it says here, yeah, they fell more than 7% in after-hours trading. Okay, so yeah, look for a red day for a lot. Coinbase, maybe, I don't know. We'll see the others. MSTR, I believe, they missed their earnings as well. But we'll get into that on their spreadsheet. All right, so let's close this out. And then we will go to the trades real quick. Informational, CONY. You know what? Let's cover CONY and AMZY first. So CONY, since they had earnings, they also did a trade yesterday, in a very odd one that we're not used to seeing. What did they do? Again, when you see the intraday trade, just look at the BC. BC, buy to close, okay? Buy to close. What are they closing? Well, it looks like they're closing their synthetic, because if you look at the expiration date, it shows December 20th. So they closed their 220 synthetic, and they closed it in two parts. So I don't know why they did that, but they did, right? 25,000 and then 10,000. And they moved it up to they moved it down to 215. That is super, super weird, right? So I mean, again, their synthetic was a 1220 expiration with a 220 strike price, but they closed it and they moved it down to 215 with an 1115 expiration. Now, if you look at the BC cost versus the sell call cost, right? They they had to pay 27.51 per share to close the put. They made 24.90 on the call. So being that today's really the last day of the fiscal year, I guess we can call this tax loss harvesting, right? What does that mean? It means they're putting some, basically adding losses into the fiscal year period so that can offset against the earnings throughout the year. Probably so they can pay us return of capital, right? Because if they pay us return of capital, then obviously that gets classified differently when it comes to tax time. So that's my guess, and that's my only guess. Why the 1115? I guess. Yeah, well, honestly, probably so they didn't make income, right? Because the 1115 probably, cost more for the call. The 1115 at 215, they didn't want to produce a net income on that new addition, right? I don't know. I haven't looked at the prices. I haven't even thought about that part of it, but either way, it's a loss on the closure and it's a cost on the new position. So I thought that was a little interesting. Also, I asked everyone if you guys want me to have Jay on again, and I will. It'll be a holiday edition, so stay tuned for that. Christmas week, I will have Jay on, and I did add that to my my videos, so you'll see it there. December 23rd, the Monday at 5 p.m. If obviously, unless something changes, but as of right now, it's going to be a holiday edition YieldMax interview. It'll be fun. All right, let's get to the spreadsheets. So CONY's the only one that had a trade, so that's why I'm kind of covering them first. So here we go. Coin went down 3.74% yesterday. That's not good because they're going to go down again today. And then CONY went down 2.56%. So yeah, a little rough day in the coin and CONY world. Earnings, obviously we can close this out here. We can go bye-bye, and then we can move on. All right, so now let's look at the holdings. So we know they moved their synthetic, right? And you look at the coin price, it's at 211, okay. So they moved it down to 215, which they're not, they're still below that. So they're not in a profitable position. But I guess we do kind of have to worry about the synthetic now because it expires essentially in 15, 16 days. So I guess we'll keep an eye out for that. What about their weeklies? Well, yeah. I mean, these expire Friday, all of them. So let's take a look. So they have the 17,500 contracts, 215 strike, 1.54% out of the money, 7,715 contracts, 3.9% out of the money, 10,000 contracts, 225 strikes, 6.26% out of the money. So they have a 215, a 220, and a 225. All of them are out of the money, and Coin had bad earnings. So with 2 trading days left, it looks like they will make it out alive. Call credit spreads, again, proved to be useless because they're 12 to 18% away from assistance. Again, they are just for the protection on the upside should the calls get blown through. And they did have earnings, so they did have a point to have them. Obviously, if Coin had really good earnings, then these may have been helping, but they're still so far away that I don't even know if they would have helped. All right, so if we look now, synthetic is not, there's no synthetic bailout money. So we'll just look at the total net assets, 739 mil. The NAV is 1426, and the trade price, interestingly enough, is 1408. That's a pretty big gap, to be honest. Wow, 18 cents. That's not right. Actually, something's wrong there. H22, yeah, it's picking up all of them. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a big gap. Wow. So technically, yeah, our net asset value of the fund is 18 cents more than what it's going, or at least as of the close. I don't know what pre-market says, but wow, okay. All right, so again, coin high IV. This will probably drop down now that earnings is up, but their 30-day IV shows 85%. Their IV estimate 93 cents. They're part of Group C. They'll declare in 13 days on November the 13th. Next up is AMZY. So Amazon went up 0.99% yesterday. AMZY went up 0.84%. They have earnings tonight after hours when people are trick-or-treating. So no one's going to be watching unless you don't have kids and you can't watch anyway. You'd be answering the door, right? Ding dong, dog barking. Ay. All right, so how's their synthetic doing? Well, their synthetic is a 185. It's doing rather well because Amazon is at 192. They're 4% above that. Their synthetic expires on November 15th. So they're, again, good spot. No gold digger, check. All right, so what about their weeklies? They're still open. 11/1, they expire. All eggs in one basket, 9,880 contracts. That is 1.18% out of the money. If they have great earnings tonight, it's probably going to get blown through. Call credit spread 7.66% away. So the dead zone's, it's a 6% gap. Amazon doesn't move as much as these others do, but we could fall in that dead zone of 6%. Let's hope not, though. All right, total net assets for AMZY, 183 mil. The NAV is 1913 and the trade price is 1916. All right, 3-cent gap. That's normal. 30-day IV, 39.65%. IV estimate, 58 cents. Group D, and that's their declaration date 20 days away on November 20th. Okay, next up is TSLY. TSLY, they declared their distribution yesterday. Lower than what I thought, because again, I always blow it up a little. I feel like they always try to pay a little more to TSLY. They want TSLY, which is their flagship, to yield a decent amount. But we'll get into that in a second. TSLY has a 245 synthetic that expires on November 15th, which they don't use. And then they have a 255 synthetic that expires on November 15th that they do use. And they're 1% above that one. 16 days away. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully they make some money on their synthetics. All right, so Tesla close yesterday. They closed down 0.76%. TSLY closed down 0.23%. Now, again, Tesla, since the really good earnings, which was when October 24th, since then it went up 3%, but then it had 3 down days in a row. So we'll see what happens from there. Again, kind of expected in a way, right? Because that was a really massive jump after earnings. So it's kind of settling down. People are taking the profits. I don't think any real news came out. Obviously, we have the election coming up, and Elon has big involvement with that. So if there's any, thinking that maybe Trump doesn't win, then I could see that affecting Tesla. Although, the Democrats are big on this, the electric car thing. So I don't know. But I could see, him not being in a good spot, obviously, supporting the Republican Party, and if the Democrats win. I don't know. We'll see. So that should make Tesla pretty volatile. If we look at the 30-day IV, it's only at 51%. So I don't know. Anyway, let's move on from that. So what do we got for this week? Well, again, all eggs in one basket, all contracts. Yes, 260. Where is it? Here it is. Oh my God, I can't read. 260.250 is the strike price. That's 1.92% out of the money. The gap between that and the call credit spread, it's about 8%. So right now they're doing good. They need Tesla to keep going down the next 2 days, or kind of stay flat. But it's in a good spot. It's still out of the money, so we still may win the weeklies, which is really good. All right, so outstanding shares, no change. So just FYI, payment 1 is completed. So column for payment 1 is done, right? So whatever they made during that 4-week period has now been completed, and now we move on to payment 2. So that's how I'm doing it. That's how the formulas are picking it up, in case you guys cared. 30-day IV, again, 51%. Outstanding shares, 69 million. On weeklies, unfortunately, produced a loss of 9.3 mil. So this, that's kind of the closeout, though, for, whatchamacallit, for the payment 1, right? So now we have to move on to payment 2. So let's move on to payment 2, actually. So let's make sure. I didn't even think about the income part. I don't know if I can fix that now. Let's see. Let's go to payment tab. So we have synthetic income. That's locked in. That's good. All right. So this can no longer be a formula, right? So we need to. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's okay actually, because that's going to pick up the total under payment 1, because it's column X, right? So if you go here, column X, that's payment 1. Okay, so now this, that formula can be changed to Y, all right? So we'll start fresh. We'll look at the income from column Y. There you go. So starting fresh, no income as we stand, because again, whatever they did yesterday obviously would have counted into that income, but they didn't do any trades, so there was no income. All right, so we're starting fresh, no income for not for the month, but for the new 4-week period, which is for payment 2. All right, reaction. Well, they did not make enough to pay out what they did, so you know what? I gave them, the negative, the red negative, just because I'm starting to track how much they're paying out versus how much they made in a little more detail. So yes, return of capital for this month, most of it. Next deck date, obviously 27 days away, because it's every 28 days, and a day went by. All right, so payment 1 closed out with 15.1 million in synthetic income. Short call losses, 9.3 mil. Net income, 5.8 mil. All right. So the closeout number for X state outstanding shares, again, I took the formula out, 69,025,000. Okay. So now that we have that number, right, we know the distribution. The distribution is 59 cents. Okay. So if you take 59 cents and you multiply it by the outstanding shares, you get the total distribution. So the amount that should have came out of cash today, this morning, is 41.3 million. All right. So they paid out 41.3 million, but I'm showing they produced a net income of 5.8 million. So that's a loss. Basically, they're paying out 35 million more than what they made. And hence, this is kind of how return of capital, happens. They did not make enough as compared to what they paid, okay? If they did, that would go into the credit carry forward bucket. But now we have a debit carry forward bucket. So not a good start, again, for we'll call it the new fiscal year of the first payment, right? They're going to have 13 payments for the year. They did have a good trade record, though. 19 wins, 13 losses. But we'll see. Again, sometimes their losses outweigh their wins, obviously, in this case. But overall, they did make income. They made 8 cents, but they're not going to pay 8 cents. So they paid 59 cents. So obviously, hopefully we have a better month next month. NAV reserve, why does that show 1? J2 plus F2. Oh yeah, debit. It's a debit. So yeah, it's just more about the format. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we overpaid 51 cents per share. Okay? All right, let's move on. So holding information, yeah, let's just go right to the cash on that topic. So yeah, cash, you can see it's in the negative. So obviously, it was in the positive yesterday, but not enough to pay out that massive payment. All right, so how is their synthetic doing? Yeah, it's a close one, right? She's not quite the gold digger, but she's taking money little by little. And we'll see where we end up, right? The synthetic expires 11/15. Now their weekly call, again, it expires this Friday, 260, 250. We'll see how that plays out. Total net assets, 842 mil. The NAV is 1221 and the trade price is 1282. Oh my God. Look at that gap. What in the hell is going on? 61-cent gap. I don't know what's going on there. All right, synthetic bailout money, not much to help, but I don't think we need it. Hopefully Tesla stays flat or continues the slow red decline. We shall see. All right, so that's the update on TSLY. I feel like I'm taking way too long. I should go to MSTY next because they had earnings. MSTY has a synthetic 255, 31,130 contracts. Right now, they're 3% below that now. And it may not be good. I'm not sure how they're looking lately, but they didn't have good earnings, so they could drop. We'll see. Also, coins dropping, so that may make MSTR drop. Who the hell knows? We'll find out. Yeah, I can delete this. Finally, I'm done. I'm done with earnings. All right, so yeah, MSTR had a rough day yesterday. It went down 4.23%. I mean, I think SMCI brought down most of the market, to be honest, right? It made people like think twice about other underlyings. MSTY went down 2.39%. Yeah, big question for the comments now that I think about it. Does what happened to SMCI and SMCY make you want to rather invest into YieldMax or YMAG? Or is it just, normal place of business? It happens. That's part of the risk. And you're still going to, own the individual underlyings. Let me know in the comments. All right. So here's MSTY's trades. They got a 250, a 255, and a 260. Biggest one is in the middle, 255, 15,895 contracts. That's 3.11% out of the money. The second biggest is 14,245 contracts with a 260. That's 5.13% out of the money. And then they got a little 990, 1.09% out of the money. So, we're not as concerned as on that one as the others, but we'll see how it plays out. So far, so good. Outstanding shares, nothing, man, nothing. Wait, 27,975. Did I not update the outstanding shares? Yesterday was the 30th. 27,975. Yay. Okay, take that and you copy this. Come on. If you let me copy this. I should probably just leave that formula in there. Yeah, all right. So people sold out 50,000 worth, 50,000 outstanding shares. Okay, here's the recap. 30-day IV, 107%. Outstanding shares, again, little decrease, 27,975,000. The weeklies produce a loss of $37 million they lost in trading weeklies. But can anyone trade MSTR on weeklies and win? Can you do better? Then do it, right? Why would you invest in this fund who keeps losing your money, right? If you can do it better on your own and you have the time, then do it, right? All right, reaction. After earnings, that's kind of what happened. Although I did check this morning and it's kind of like settling. So this may not be true, but I have a feeling a lot can change up until pre-market. So we shall see. The market kind of looks red this morning overall. So, which I guess we're due for a slight correction. And then we'll have to just sell puts forever, right? All right, Group D declares again in 20 days on November the 20th. Payment information, massive synthetic income, 200 mil worth. So we'll take out the losses on the weeklies, and it's looking like 163 mil. That comes to about 583 per share. So yeah, in the example of TSLY, their income wasn't enough to pay. So like if MSTY pays, say, another $4, they'll actually have a credit carry forward, right? Because they can afford it. They made 583 at least per share that we're showing. But in the end, what matters is how many people owned the fund at the time to produce the total distribution paid out versus the total net income produced. All right, hopefully that makes sense. I just realized I've been skipping the Rotometer on the other one on TSLY, but either way, the Rotometer we can't use, but the IV estimate is 259 for MSTY. All right, holding information. What do they got? They got a synthetic 255. Not in a great spot right now, but they have 16 days to recover. However, their weeklies, again, we'll see how it goes, but they still have 2 trading days, and they just had bad earnings, so maybe they'll be all right. And synthetic bailout is not a bailout. It's in the negative at the moment, so we will look at the total net assets, 809 mil. The NAV is 28.95, trade price 29.01. The gap 6 cents. That's okay. That's normal. Now the earnings 5, for those of you new to the channel, what we do for the 3 funds that I cover in a little more detail is I'll write down 5 things that happened during the earnings call that may be relevant or important or something I at least thought was interesting. Take a sip of water. So this is what I wrote down. This is for fiscal quarter 3Q24. So MicroStrategy announced a goal to raise $42 billion over next 3 years to buy Bitcoin. So their stance on buying Bitcoin it's a forever thing. It looks like here. Their revenue that they made was 116 million versus the estimate of 122 million. So that was a miss. Earnings per share was a kind of a disaster, negative $1.56. So they're earning a negative, that's right, negative $1.56. The market thought, they knew they were in the negative, but they only said negative 14 cents. So that was a huge miss. All right, another note, in Q3, MicroStrategy raised 2.1 billion in equity and debt and boosted its Bitcoin holdings by 11% within that 3-month period. As of September 30th, 2024, the carrying value of MicroStrategy's Bitcoin stash of 252,220 tokens was 6.85 billion. So that's pretty nice. And last but not least, I think I want to add this on every earnings going forward. I want to put their cost basis of Bitcoin, but right now their cost basis is 39,266. So that's their cost per Bitcoin. And they're still buying, right? I don't know what their first purchase was, what the price was then, but that's a pretty good cost basis considering Bitcoin's around 72,000 last time I looked. So that's not bad. But obviously, yeah, EPS, earnings per share, come on, guys, you got to do a little better than that. I mean, that's pretty weak, but it is what it is. What do you guys think of MicroStrategy as a company? Again, are you investing in MSTY or MSTR because of the company or simply as a Bitcoin play? I mean, that's really the question here. Okay, last but not least is the GOAT, question mark, maybe? This is NVDY, they have a synthetic that expires on December 20th, right? The Friday before our interview. 90,640 contracts, 51 days away. They are 7% above that, so that is a perfect position. Good job. Their earnings is November 26th. What is that? Is it the week after Thanksgiving? I don't know. How did NVIDIA do yesterday? They went down 1.35%, and NVDY went down 1.07%. Okay, so let's look at the trades, right? What do we got going heading into Friday? They got all eggs in one basket, 90,640 contracts, 147 strike price, 5.5% out of the money. That's not a bad spot. That is not a bad spot. 2 trading days, though, so a lot can happen. They got protection, though, but it's 11% away. We'll see how it goes. Outstanding shares. I'm not showing movement. Did I update it? Yeah, I did. 48,475. Yeah, so nothing. Very slow day. Declaration date, not much movement. 30-day IV, 59%. Again, declaration date didn't affect them, though. It affected Group A, but either way. Outstanding shares 48,475,000. Total net income 5.4 mil. Again, I hate covering this because it's nothing at the moment. 11 cents. Daily income 1 cent. Daily yield 0.02. Annualize that 7%. So yeah, blah. 2 days left. 2 for the 2 days left. So we shall see. 2 of spades. Group B declares next week on November 6th. Payment information. How we doing? 92 mil. That's how we doing. Short call income 5 mil. All right, 98 mil. That's what I'm talking about. 98 mil. So that's 202 per share. That's really good. Again, they're going to declare next week. How much are they going to pay? I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they end this week in a profit, right? So they're not paying out of pocket on the closure, and they don't have to touch the synthetic. So hopefully they'll win, and then they'll open new weeklies for next week, which will increase our short call per share, right? So that's best case scenario. Let's see how the week plays out, though. Again, the synthetic income, guys, it's just the underlying, all right? It's just the underlying going up or down, whatever. It's really the weeklies. We really want to win on the weeklies. But you can see the synthetic, very profitable at the moment, orange versus red. So that's good, no gold digger. And then you got in blue, we got the call for the week. We'll see how that plays out. Right now, it's pretty cheap to close. It looks like 28 cents to close. How much do they make on the open? Let's see. Where is it? All right, they made 189 and it cost 28 cents to close. So would they close that early? I don't know. It's a little early. They still got 2 days, but if the problem is when they close it, they start the new position and they start the new position at that low price. That's the only issue I see with the closures. I wish they would close and just wait a day and see how Friday, Thursday to Friday goes. Close it out Thursday, take the win, then wait till Friday, right? And then you get the overnight exposure, right? So I don't know. Maybe they could do that. We should ask Jay about that. What do we got? We got synthetic income, a lot of it, man. Oof, but we're not touching it. That expires by Christmas, right before Christmas. Total net assets, 1.2 bill. The NAV is 25.98, and the trade price is 26. 2 cent gap, which kind of makes sense. So that's it. That is all of them, right? We covered all of them. So we covered NVDY. This was NVDY, TSLY, AMZY. I don't know, whatever. We covered all of them, I think. Now let's move on to the pre-market. All right, Halloween, baby. Markets open on Halloween. All right, how's Tesla doing? Tesla continues to look red. This is as of 5:45 a.m., so I'm pushing it with the time. I couldn't get up, man. 4 a.m. alarm went off. I hit snooze twice, and that's unlike me, but I don't know. I'm a little lacking on sleep at the moment. Hopefully I can catch up sooner than later. But it's down 0.67%. It's at 255.80. TSLY is down 0.5%. It's at 1216. NVIDIA is down, it's down 1.43%. It's at 137.34. So maybe they will win their weeklies. NVIDIA is down 1.23%, 25.68. See what I mean? This SMCI bring down the whole market or what? Coin is down 1.89%. Obviously, they had bad earnings, though. They're at 207.74. CONY's down 0.64%. They're at 13.99. MSTR, oh, hello. They're up 4.14%. See what I mean? They were down after hours after their earnings. And look at this pre-market. Holy crap. Man, this is a fun fund, man. If you trade this, I mean, it probably gives you nightmares too, but it's been really crazy. But yeah, they're up 3.98%. They're at 257.15. MSTY, they are up 3.21%, 29.94. TSLL, they are down 1.35% at 12.45. I think my lowest strike price is $12. So if it's possible, TSLL could close below $12 this week, and I will keep all 800 shares. Could you imagine? That would be awesome. Let's hope for that, honestly. But if it closes here, I'm okay with that too, right? Because I still keep most of my shares. Wow. All right, TNA. That's why you sell all your calls, put it to work, make them make money. But anyway, here we are. TNA. I sold a put on them. I have a $42 put. They're at 43.59. So they're down 0.95%. And AMDY is down 0.54%, 1286. AMZY is down 0.84%, 19 even. Bitcoin is up slightly, 0.67% at 72,306. So obviously showing that MSTR cost basis is pretty amazing. That's going to be a big tax burden though when they take those capital gains, right? BitX is up 1.4%, 3560. Let's see if that's double of Bitcoin. Close enough, not like the other day. All right, SOXL. Oh my God, I have puts on them. I have 2 puts on them. Yikes. They're down 3.44%. They're at 32.84. If they continue to go down today, I have a $33 and a $31 put. If they go down under 31, I will sell another put. I'm playing the $2 gap game. We'll see how it treats me though. All right, SMCI newly added to the pre-market fund. For some reason, they're not updated. That's not good, but obviously you could see the change down 32%. It looks like that was the final number yesterday. SMCY works though. They're down 3.87%. They're at $36. They went down what, 30%? Wow, so SMCI went down 32. SMCY went down 30. Man, that is rough. So for those of you that own SMCY, man, sorry, man, it happened to you, right? That you got caught in their disaster, right? Because owning SMCY, again, you're investing in a YieldMax fund, but you're reliant on that underlying. And if that underlying fails you, then you get put in this position. A lot of you though, if you believe in the underlying, this is a great opportunity, of course. You're looking at this at a great buying opportunity. So their strikes, I mean, they're probably so far out of the money. So if you think about it, unfortunately they expire tomorrow, but if you think about it, if you bought in yesterday and they recover and this recovers today, you'll get that full upside, right? There's nothing going to be capped. I doubt that unless they close their calls. I didn't look, but that's one way to play it, but it doesn't look like it's recovering today. We'll see. There may be more sell-off. I don't know. Was yesterday an overreaction to the market, or is this company truly just, do we not want to touch it anymore? I don't know. Again, their IV was super high, and that's for a reason, right? And here we are. Things happen. Stock market's risky. This is just proving that, right? And this is why people invest in indexes. They don't want to have to worry about this. And it makes sense. Because this reminded me, as an options trader trading TSLY, I have this risk, right? This is a part of the risk because Tesla is one company. They could, something could happen, not like this, probably, hopefully not, but anything, right? So if I trade the indexes, it's a much safer option. I got to be honest. So it's something I need to consider, and reconsider myself, maybe stay away from individual underlyings, which it's not easy because some of those indexes are unaffordable. But I don't know, guys. I'm just rambling because it was a nasty hit they took yesterday, but damn. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Actually, wait, that shows as of 5:34 a.m. Why does it do that? It's almost 6 now. All right, so I don't know. SMCY is not updating either because I'm looking at my watch and it's 5:53. All right, sorry. I was saying, as always, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try our best tomorrow. Happy Halloween, of course. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. No, for real. Only if you like it. Obviously, if you don't, then I don't know. Send your beautiful comment and I'll read it. Outside of that, that's pretty much all I got. Today's keyword, of course, is none other then happy Halloween. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you can type happy Halloween in the comments, and then we know you are a trooper. You made it through the entire video. So I will look out for that, and others will look out for that. So again, I just wanted to say to everyone, thank you for watching and have a great day. Happy Halloween. Good luck to the parents who have kids who they're going to chase around tonight, who still go trick-or-treating. And hopefully these people answer the doors. I know a lot of people don't answer the doors anymore, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, have a great day. Later.